I handed the divorce papers across the kitchen table before Emily could set down her purse. "Sign these," I said, my voice steady. "I've already packed your belongings. They're in the garage." Emily froze, her hand still on her bag. "Jacob, what? You missed Oliver's school play tonight. He was the lead. He practiced for 2 months." I kept my tone flat, clinical. "You were at dinner with Richard instead." Her face went pale. "How did you—" "Jennifer sent me a photo. You and your ex-husband, laughing over wine at Marcello's while our 7-year-old son stood on stage looking for you in the audience." I pushed the papers closer. "Oliver asked me 3 times during the performance when Mommy would arrive. I told him you were stuck at work. I lied to protect you. I'm done lying." "Jacob, please, let me explain some—" "There's nothing to explain. This is the 4th time this month you've chosen Richard over our family. Last week it was Oliver's soccer game. Before that, his parent-teacher conference." I stood up. "I asked you once to set boundaries with your ex. You told me I was being controlling. Tonight proved I was being naive." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Richard needed support. His mother is sick. His mother has been sick for 6 months. He has a girlfriend and 3 siblings. He doesn't need you." I walked to the counter and retrieved another folder. "I filed this morning. My attorney says we can have this finalized in 60 days if you don't contest. I'm asking for primary custody." "You can't take Oliver from me." "I'm not taking him from you. You've been absent for months. I'm just making it official." I met her eyes. "Sign the papers, Emily. Move out this weekend. We'll arrange a custody schedule through our lawyers." She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I thought we could work through anything. I was wrong. Some things can't be fixed. Only ended." The next morning, I took Oliver to his favorite pancake place. He drowned, his chocolate chip stack in syrup, chattering about the play, about how his friend Tyler forgot his lines, and how Mrs. Patterson said he did a great job. "Dad, why didn't Mom come last night?" he finally asked, his fork hovering over his plate. I'd prepared for this question all night. "Your mom had something she thought was important. But she made a mistake, buddy. Sometimes grown-ups make bad choices." "Was she mad at me?" My chest tightened. "No, Oliver. Never. This has nothing to do with you." He nodded slowly, processing. "Tommy's parents are divorced. He has 2 houses now. He says it's not so bad." I reached across the table and squeezed his small hand. "Things are going to change, but you'll always have me. Every play, every game, every moment, I'll be there. Promise?" "Promise." That afternoon, while Oliver was at his friend's house, I sat in my home office staring at the family photos on the wall. 3 years of marriage, 7 years of Oliver's life. All of it unraveling because Emily couldn't let go of a relationship that had ended before I'd even met her. I remembered our first date. She'd been 2 years divorced from Richard, or so she'd said. She'd told me she was ready to move forward, that she wanted something real and lasting. I'd believed her. We'd built a life together quickly, maybe too quickly. When Oliver was born, I thought we'd finally cemented our family. But Richard had always been there, hovering in the background like a ghost I couldn't exorcise. The first year of our marriage, it was occasional coffee meetings. "Just checking in," Emily would say. "We were together for 10 years. We can be friends." I'd accepted it, even though something in my gut twisted every time. The second year, the meetings became more frequent. Lunch dates, evening phone calls that stretched past midnight. I'd raised concerns, and Emily had accused me of being jealous and insecure. "You can't expect me to cut off someone who was such a huge part of my life," she'd argued. I'd backed down, not wanting to seem controlling. This past year, Richard's mother got sick, and Emily had thrown herself into supporting him. Doctor's appointments, hospital visits, emotional support sessions that lasted hours. Meanwhile, I was managing Oliver's school schedule, his activities, his emotional needs, and my full-time job as a software engineer. I'd become a single parent in everything but name. My phone buzzed. Emily. We need to talk. Please don't do this. Think of Oliver. I typed back, I am thinking of Oliver. That's why I'm doing this. Emily called 17 times that first week. I answered once to discuss logistics. She'd agreed to sign the papers but wanted to talk, to try counseling, to fix things. I told her the same thing each time. It was too late. My mother had a different reaction when I told her. We sat in her living room while Oliver played in her backyard. Divorce is a serious step, Jacob, she said, carefully. Are you certain you can't reconcile? She chose her ex-husband over our son repeatedly, Mom. What's there to reconcile? Marriage requires forgiveness. I forgave her the first time, and the second. This wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. I watched Oliver through the window, kicking a soccer ball. He asked me if she was mad at him. He's 7 years old, blaming himself because his mother can't prioritize him. My mother's expression softened. That poor baby. I won't let him grow up wondering why he's not enough. I won't model that kind of relationship for him. I turned to her. I need to know you support this. She was quiet for a moment, then nodded. I support you, both of you. Whatever you need. My father had died when I was 15, and my mother had raised me and my brother Daniel alone. She'd taught us what real commitment looked like, showing up every day, making sacrifices, putting your children first. Emily had violated every principle my mother had instilled in me. Your father would be proud of you, Mom said quietly. Standing up for your son, that takes courage. Or stubbornness. Sometimes they're the same thing. The divorce moved quickly. Emily contested nothing. Not custody, not asset division, not even the timeline. Her attorney told mine she wanted to make things as easy as possible. I suspected she was drowning in guilt. Richard called me 3 weeks in. I almost didn't answer. Jacob, I need to talk to you about Emily, he said without preamble. We have nothing to discuss. She's falling apart. She barely sleeps, barely eats. She made a mistake. She made dozens of mistakes. And you enabled every single one. I kept my voice level. You're divorced from her, Richard. You moved on, got a girlfriend. Why do you still need Emily's attention? Silence on the other end. That's what I thought, I continued. You liked having her available, having that connection. You never thought about what it cost her, or us. I never meant intent doesn't matter. Impact does. Oliver stood on that stage looking for his mother while she was making you feel important. That's the reality. Jacob. I hung up. The conversation bothered me more than I wanted to admit. Richard had seemed genuinely surprised that his relationship with Emily had consequences. As if he'd never considered that his ex-wife had built a new life, a new family. Or maybe he had considered it and simply didn't care. I called my attorney that afternoon. I want to add something to the divorce agreement. Emily needs to attend co-parenting counseling before we finalize the custody arrangement. That's reasonable. I'll add it to the stipulations. And I want documentation of her visits with Oliver. Times, dates, whether she shows up, everything. Building a paper trail? Protecting my son. My brother Daniel came over that Friday night with pizza and beer. Oliver was at Emily's for her first overnight visit. She'd moved into an apartment downtown and had weekend custody every other week. You're handling this better than I expected, Daniel said, settling onto my couch. What choice do I have? Fall apart? Oliver needs me stable. Still, 3 years of marriage, gone in 2 months. That's brutal. I took a long drink from my beer. The marriage was gone long before I filed. I was just too stubborn to see it. When did you know it was over? I thought about that. 6 months ago, Emily and I were supposed to have a date night. She canceled last minute. Richard needed help moving furniture. I spent the evening wondering when I'd become the backup plan in my own marriage. Daniel shook his head. What does she say about it now? That she got confused. That Richard manipulated her emotions. That she never meant to hurt Oliver. The usual justifications. I set down my beer. But here's the thing. She still defends him. Even now she says I'm being unfair, that he was going through a hard time. Is she serious? Completely. In her mind, I'm the villain for not understanding why she needed to support her ex-husband instead of our son. I laughed without humor. That's when I knew I made the right call. She still doesn't get it. Daniel was quiet for a moment, then asked, "Do you think she was having an affair with him?" Emotionally, definitely. Physically? I shrugged. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to know. Would it change anything? No. The emotional betrayal is enough. We watched the game in comfortable silence. Daniel had been through his own divorce 5 years earlier. No kids involved, but painful nonetheless. He understood the strange mix of relief and grief that came with ending a marriage. You know what the worst part is? I said during a commercial break. I don't even miss her. I miss the idea of her. The woman I thought I married. But the real Emily? The one who kept choosing Richard? I'm relieved she's gone. That's not the worst part, Jacob. That's the best part. It means you're already healing. 2 months after I filed, I ran into Jennifer, Emily's former best friend, the one who'd sent me the photo at the grocery store. Jacob, hi, she said, her expression cautious. How are you holding up? Better than expected. How are things with you? Good. Good. She hesitated. I heard the divorce is almost final. 60-day waiting period. Should be done in 2 weeks. She nodded, then surprised me. I'm glad you got out. I watched Emily prioritize Richard for months before I said anything. I kept hoping she'd snap out of it. Why did you finally tell me? Because of Oliver. I saw her at the restaurant, laughing and carefree, and I thought about that little boy waiting for his mom at the play. It made me sick. She met my eyes. I lost Emily as a friend when I sent you that photo. She called me a traitor, said I destroyed her family, but I'd do it again. Thank you, I said quietly. You did the right thing. How's Oliver doing? He's adjusting. Some nights are harder than others, but he's resilient. I smiled slightly. He told me yesterday that having 2 houses means 2 sets of toys. Kid logic. Jennifer laughed. He's lucky to have you. Actually, I wanted to ask you something, I said. How long has this been going on, with Richard? Jennifer's smile faded. Honestly? Since about 6 months into your marriage. That's when I started noticing her pulling away from our friend group, canceling plans to help Richard with various things. At first, I thought she was just being a good ex-wife, you know? Maintaining a friendly relationship. But it escalated. Did she ever say anything to you? About still having feelings for him? Not directly, but she talked about him constantly. Richard this, Richard that. Her whole identity became wrapped up in being there for him. Jennifer shifted her grocery basket. I tried to bring it up, once, about a year ago. I suggested maybe she was too involved in her ex's life. She got defensive, said I didn't understand how complicated divorce was, that Richard needed her. But he didn't need her. He had a girlfriend. Exactly. That's what made it so frustrating. Richard was using Emily for emotional support while building a life with someone else. And Emily couldn't see it. or didn't want to see it. I processed this information. Did his girlfriend know about Emily? I doubt it. Why would Richard tell her? He got to have his cake and eat it too. A girlfriend for the present and Emily for the past. Jennifer's expression turned angry. The whole thing makes me sick. He destroyed your family for his ego. Emily destroyed our family. Richard just provided the excuse. The divorce finalized on a Tuesday morning. I sat in the courtroom with my attorney while Emily and hers sat across the aisle. The judge reviewed our agreement, confirmed we both consented, and declared our marriage dissolved. 6 minutes, start to finish. Emily tried to approach me afterward, but I was already walking toward the exit. My attorney caught up with me in the hallway. "That's it," she said. "You're officially single." "Fastest 6 minutes of my life," she smiled. "You made this easy by being reasonable, and by choosing an attorney who didn't waste time on dramatics. I wanted it over, not prolonged." I shook her hand. "Thank you for everything." "Good luck, Jacob. I think you're going to be just fine." I picked Oliver up from school that afternoon. He bounded out of his classroom, backpack bouncing. "Dad, guess what? I got a gold star on my science project." "That's amazing, buddy. I'm so proud of you." He chattered the whole way home about his project on volcanoes, about how his eruption was the biggest in the class. I listened, responding at the right moments, grateful for his innocence. He didn't need to know that today his parents' marriage officially ended. He just needed to know I was proud of his volcano. That evening, after Oliver was asleep, I sat on my back porch with a beer and let myself feel everything I'd been suppressing for 2 months. The anger, the hurt, the sense of failure. I'd promised Emily forever, and I'd meant it. But she'd broken that promise long before I filed the papers. My phone rang. "Daniel." "How'd it go?" "It's done. Officially over." "How do you feel?" "Empty. Relieved. Sad. All of it." "That's normal." "Is it? Because I thought I'd feel more something, but mostly I just feel tired." Daniel was quiet for a moment. "You've been carrying the weight of your entire family for months, Jacob. Of course you're tired. Now you get to put some of that down. And pick up new weight. Single parenting, co-parenting with someone I don't trust, figuring out who I am outside of marriage. One day at a time, brother. One day at a time." 3 months post-divorce, my life had settled into a new rhythm. Oliver and I had our routine, weekday mornings together, school drop-offs, my work-from-home schedule aligned with his school hours, evening dinners and homework, weekend adventures. On Emily's weekends, I reconnected with friends, worked on house projects, went to the gym. I'd lost 15 pounds without trying. Stress and a new gym routine had transformed my body. I felt stronger, more capable. My work performance had improved too. Without the constant anxiety about Emily's whereabouts and choices, I could focus completely during work hours. My colleague Rebecca invited me to her barbecue that Saturday. I almost declined. Social events felt exhausting, but she insisted. "You've been divorced for 3 months. You need to leave the house for something besides errands," she'd said. So I went. Rebecca's backyard was filled with people from our office and their friends. I nursed a beer near the grill, making small talk with our IT manager about the upcoming football season. "Jacob, come here," Rebecca called, waving me over. "I want you to meet someone." I walked over reluctantly. Rebecca stood with a woman I didn't recognize. Tall, dark hair, warm smile. "This is Amanda. She works in marketing at the hospital. Amanda, this is Jacob. He's in software development at my company." "Nice to meet you," Amanda said, extending her hand. Likewise. Amanda just moved here from Denver, Rebecca continued. She doesn't know anyone yet, so I'm forcing friendship upon her. Amanda laughed. It's true, I'm a friendship hostage. We talked for nearly an hour. She was easy to talk to, quick-witted, genuinely interested in conversation. When I mentioned Oliver, her whole face brightened. How old is he? 7. He's obsessed with dinosaurs and Star Wars. Great taste. The original trilogy is superior. Obviously, she grinned. I have a nephew about that age. Best kid ever, but I'm biased. When the party wound down, Amanda gave me her number. If you ever want to grab coffee or show me around town, let me know. Friend mode only. I promise I'm not hitting on you. I laughed. Coffee sounds good. Later that night, Daniel called to check in. I told him about meeting Amanda. So you're already dating? It's not dating. It's coffee. With someone new to town who needs friends. Right. And I'm the Pope. Daniel, I'm not ready for a relationship. I just got divorced. I know, but you sound lighter than you have in months. That's worth noticing. He was right. The conversation with Amanda had felt effortless, natural. No baggage, no history, just two people enjoying each other's company. It was the first time in years I'd talked to a woman without the weight of Emily's shadow hanging over the conversation. Emily showed up at my house unannounced 2 weeks later. Oliver was at her place, so I'd been working in my home office when the doorbell rang. We need to talk, she said when I opened the door. About what? About us. About Oliver. About everything. She looked thinner than I remembered. Dark circles under her eyes. Please, Jacob, just give me 20 minutes. Against my better judgment, I let her in. We sat in the living room, maintaining distance. I've been in therapy, she started. Twice a week for 2 months. I'm trying to understand why I made those choices. Okay. My therapist thinks I never properly processed my divorce from Richard, that I was holding on to something that wasn't real anymore. She twisted her hands in her lap. I was wrong, Jacob. About everything. I sacrificed our family for someone who didn't deserve it. I know. I want to make things right. I want us to try again, for Oliver's sake. I'd expected this conversation, eventually. No. Jacob, Emily, I'm glad you're in therapy. I'm glad you're getting help, but we're not getting back together. Don't you think Oliver deserves to have his parents together? Oliver deserves to have happy, healthy parents, together or apart. I leaned forward. He's thriving now. His teacher says he's more focused, more engaged. He has stability and consistency. Why would I disrupt that? Because we're his family. We are his family. Just not the configuration you want. I softened slightly. Emily, I don't hate you. I don't wish bad things for you. But I don't trust you anymore. And I don't want to teach Oliver that love means sacrificing your self-respect. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I made a mistake. You made choices, repeatedly, and now we live with the consequences. She stayed for another 10 minutes, trying different angles. Our history, our good memories, the idea of second chances. I remained firm on each point. When she finally left, I felt relieved. That chapter was truly closed, but I also felt something else. Pity. Emily looked lost, unmoored. She'd built her entire identity around being Richard's savior, and now she had nothing. No husband, limited, custody of her son, and an ex-husband who had used her emotional labor for his own benefit. I called my therapist. I'd started seeing someone a month after filing for divorce, and scheduled an emergency session. I saw Emily today, I told Dr. Morrison. She wants to reconcile. How did that make you feel? Relieved that I don't want that, but also sad for her. She's clearly struggling. Dr. Morrison nodded. You're allowed to feel empathy for her while maintaining your boundaries. Those aren't mutually exclusive. I know, but I feel guilty, like I should want to help her. Should you? I thought about that. No, she needs to help herself. I can't save her. I couldn't save our marriage. All I can do is be a good father to Oliver. That's very insightful, Jacob. You've come a long way in 3 months. Amanda and I started seeing each other casually. Coffee dates, a few dinners, a movie. Nothing serious, just 2 people enjoying each other's company. I didn't introduce her to Oliver. It was too soon, and I wanted to keep those parts of my life separate for now. I appreciate you being upfront about taking things slow, Amanda said over dinner one night. A lot of recently divorced guys aren't this self-aware. I have a 7-year-old who needs stability more than I need a relationship. That's just reality. It's refreshing. And for what it's worth, I think you're handling everything really well. Some days are better than others. She smiled. That's all any of us can do. Amanda told me about her own past. A long-term relationship that had ended badly. A move across the country to start fresh. The challenge of building a new life in a new city. We bonded over the experience of reinvention, of learning who you are outside of a relationship. I spent 5 years with someone who diminished me, she said, constantly criticizing, making me feel small. When we broke up, I realized I'd lost myself completely. Moving here was about reclaiming my identity. How's that going? Better every day. I'm remembering who I was before him. The things I liked, the dreams I had. It's liberating. I understood that completely. Emily hadn't criticized me, but she'd slowly erased me from her priorities. I'd become invisible in my own marriage, a supporting character in her drama with Richard. Now, for the first time in years, I was the protagonist of my own life. Oliver's 8th birthday fell on Emily's weekend. She'd promised him a big celebration, trampoline park, dinner at his favorite burger place, ice cream after. I'd planned to see him Sunday evening to give him his gifts. Saturday afternoon, my phone rang. Oliver. Dad, can you come get me? My stomach dropped. What's wrong, buddy? Mom forgot about my party. She scheduled something with Mr. Richard instead. She says we can do my birthday stuff tomorrow, but you always say birthdays are special. I was already grabbing my keys. I'm on my way. Stay put. I called Emily while driving. She answered on the 4th ring. Jacob, I can explain. Don't bother. I'm picking up Oliver. Now. It's my weekend. You forgot his birthday party for Richard. Again. My hands gripped the steering wheel. I'm done. I'm done, Emily. You just lost your next 3 weekends. My attorney will file the modification Monday. You can't do that. Watch me. You're establishing a pattern of neglect. Any judge will see it. I pulled into her apartment complex. I'm outside. Send Oliver down. Oliver emerged 3 minutes later, eyes red from crying. I got out and hugged him tight. Happy birthday, buddy. Let's go do something special. We spent the afternoon at the arcade, then dinner at the burger place, then the ice cream shop. Oliver's smile slowly returned. When we got home, I brought out the gifts I'd wrapped. Lego sets, new dinosaur books, a Star Wars poster for his room. This is the best birthday ever, he said, hugging me. You deserve special tsong. Days, Oliver. Always. After he fell asleep, I called my attorney and explained what happened. She sighed heavily. I'll file for modification Monday morning. Given the history, I think we can get primary custody increased to 80%. with her getting supervised visitation until she demonstrates consistency. Whatever keeps him safe and stable. Jacob, I have to ask, is there any chance she's using substances? This pattern of behavior, the weight loss, the continued prioritization of her ex. I hadn't considered it. I don't know, but I'll be watching. The question haunted me. Was Emily's behavior explained by emotional issues alone? Or was there something more? I thought about her appearance, the weight loss, the dark circles, the scattered attention. It could be depression. It could be something else. I made a mental note to document everything. If Emily was struggling with addiction on top of everything else, Oliver needed protection. The custody modification hearing was scheduled for 6 weeks out. In the meantime, Emily's visitation was temporarily reduced to supervised daytime visits only. She protested through her attorney, but couldn't deny the pattern. Missed birthdays, forgotten pickups, consistently choosing Richard over Oliver. Jennifer called me one evening, her voice tight. I need to tell you something. I saw Emily and Richard together yesterday. They were having lunch, and Jacob, they were holding hands. My stomach turned. Are you sure? Positive. And she was wearing a necklace he used to buy her. I recognized it from their marriage. So that was it. Emily hadn't been confused or manipulated. She'd been rekindling her relationship with Richard and pushing aside everything else. Thank you for telling me. I'm sorry, Jacob. I know this doesn't make it easier. Actually, it does. Now I know exactly what I'm dealing with. I informed my attorney. She was unsurprised. It explains the behavior, pattern. She's been in an emotional affair at minimum, possibly physical. It won't look good in court. Good. But privately, I struggled with the information. Emily and Richard were together again. The relationship she'd destroyed our family for was now her reality. Part of me wanted to feel vindicated, to say, I told you so. But mostly I felt sad for Oliver, who'd become collateral damage in his mother's inability to move forward. The custody hearing was straightforward. My attorney presented evidence, missed events, forgotten commitments, Oliver's statements to his therapist about feeling unimportant to his mother. Emily's attorney tried to claim she was working through personal issues and deserved grace. The judge was unmoved. Ms. Thompson, you've demonstrated a consistent pattern of prioritizing other relationships over your son's needs. Until you can show sustained commitment to your parental responsibilities, this court is granting Mr. Anderson primary physicals. Custody at 85%, with your visitation limited to supervised day visits twice monthly. We'll review in 6 months. Emily sobbed in the courtroom. I felt nothing, just relief that Oliver would have stability. Outside, her attorney approached me. She wants to talk to you. No. Jacob, please. Tell your client that if she wants more time with her son, she needs to prove she's capable of being a parent. Until then, we communicate through attorneys only. I walked away. I called my mother from the car. It's done. I have primary custody. Thank God. How do you feel? Exhausted, but relieved. Oliver's protected now. You did the right thing, sweetheart. For him and for yourself. That evening, I picked Oliver up from school and took him to the park. We sat on a bench eating ice cream while he told me about his day. Dad? Is Mom okay? She's dealing with some things, buddy. But she loves you. I know, but sometimes I don't think she likes me very much. My heart broke. Oliver, look at me. Your mom likes you. She loves you. She's just lost right now. But that's not about you. That's about her figuring out her own stuff. Will she figure it out? I hope so. But until she does, you have me, and Grandma, and Uncle Daniel, and all the people who show up for you every single day." He nodded, licking his ice cream. "I'm glad I have you, Dad." "I'm glad I have you too, buddy." 6 months passed. Emily attended her supervised visits consistently for the first month, then missed 2 in the second month. By month 4, she'd canceled more visits than she attended. Oliver stopped asking when he'd see her. "I think Mom likes Mr. Richard more than me," he said one night at bedtime. I sat on the edge of his bed. "Your mom loves you, buddy. She's just dealing with some grown-up problems that make it hard for her to be the mom you deserve. Do you think she'll get better?" "I hope so. But what matters is that you have people who show up for you. Me, Grandma, Uncle Daniel, your friends. Those are your people." He nodded thoughtfully. "And Amanda?" I'd introduced them recently. Cautiously. Slowly. Amanda had been wonderful, treating Oliver with respect and kindness without trying to replace Emily. "And Amanda," I confirmed. "She's nice. She knows a lot about dinosaurs." I smiled. "She researched them just for you." "Really?" "Really." He grinned and settled into his pillow. "I'm glad you're my dad. I'm glad you're my son. Now get some sleep." As I left his room, I reflected on how far we'd come. Oliver was resilient, adapting to his new reality with grace. He'd learned that love meant showing up, that actions spoke louder than words. Emily's absence had taught him that lesson more effectively than any conversation could have. A year after the divorce, my life looked completely different. Oliver thrived, straight A's, lots of friends, excited about his activities. I'd been promoted at work. My relationship with Amanda had deepened naturally, and I'd rebuilt my confidence and sense of self. Emily had moved in with Richard officially. According to Jennifer, who still kept tabs, they'd gotten engaged. Emily saw Oliver once a month, if that. She'd stopped fighting for more custody, stopped attending hearings. She'd chosen her path. One Saturday afternoon, Amanda and I took Oliver to the zoo. He ran ahead to the dinosaur exhibit, his favorite, while we followed at a leisurely pace. "You seem happy," Amanda observed. "I am. That surprises me sometimes." "Why?" "Because a year ago, I was getting divorced and wondering how I'd build a life for Oliver. And now," I gestured around us, "this feels right, stable. Good." She squeezed my hand. "You did that. You made good choices and put Oliver first." "We got lucky finding you." She smiled. "I'm the lucky one." Oliver ran back to us, breathless with excitement. "Dad, they have a new T-Rex animatronic. Come see." It followed him. And I realized this was what I'd wanted all along. Simple happiness, genuine connection. Someone who chose to be present. Not grand gestures or complicated emotions, just showing up. Amanda and I had been dating for 8 months now. We'd taken things slowly, but our relationship had a foundation that my marriage to Emily never had. Mutual respect, clear communication, shared values. When Amanda told me about her day, I listened. When I needed support, she provided it. We were partners in the truest sense. That evening, after dropping Oliver at my mother's house for a sleepover, Amanda and I went to dinner at a quiet Italian restaurant. "I've been thinking," she said over wine, "about us, about where this is going." My stomach tightened. "Okay. I know you're cautious, and I understand why. Your divorce was painful, and Oliver has to be your priority." She reached across the table. "But I want you to know I'm in this. For real. I'm not going anywhere." Relief flooded through me. "I'm in this too." I just needed time to make sure I could trust my judgment again. And can you? Yes, because you've shown me consistently who you are. You say what you mean. You follow through on your commitments. You treat Oliver with kindness and respect. I squeezed her hand. You're nothing like Emily. I'll take that as a compliment. It's the highest compliment I can give. 18 months post-divorce, Emily called me directly. I almost didn't answer. Jacob, I need to tell you something. Her voice was subdued, flattened. What is it? Richard and I broke up. He was seeing someone else. The whole time we were together again. I waited, saying nothing. I've been thinking a lot about everything. About what I lost. About Oliver. Her voice cracked. I made the worst mistake of my life choosing Richard over you two, and now I have nothing. Emily, I'm not asking to get back together. I know that's impossible. I needed you to know I understand now. What I gave up. What I destroyed. I'm sorry you're hurting, I said honestly. But I can't help you with this. I know. I just wanted to apologize. To really apologize. For everything. Okay, apology heard. How is Oliver? He's great. Really great. Does he ask about me? Sometimes. Less now than before. She was quiet for a long moment. I deserve that. Emily, if you want to rebuild a relationship with Oliver, that's between you and him. But it'll take time and consistency. Things you haven't shown him yet. I know. I'm working with a new therapist, trying to figure out how to be better. That's good. I hope you find what you're looking for. After we hung up, Amanda asked who it was. Emily, Richard cheated on her. Ouch. Yeah. I thought about it. Part of me feels bad for her, but mostly I just feel grateful I'm not in that mess anymore. That's growth. Or emotional exhaustion. She laughed. Either way, you're here now. That's what counts. The next day, Jennifer called with more details. She'd run into Emily at a coffee shop, and they'd talked for the first time since Emily had cut her off. She's a wreck, Jacob, Jennifer said. Richard had been seeing his ex-girlfriend the entire time he and Emily were together. He'd never actually broken up with her. Emily was the other woman and didn't even know it. How is that possible? He'd told her the girlfriend was completely out of the picture, that they'd broken up when he and Emily rekindled things. But it was all lies. The girlfriend found out about Emily and confronted him. That's when everything fell apart. So he used Emily for emotional support while maintaining his actual relationship. Exactly. And now Emily's alone. She's barely seeing Oliver, and she's finally realizing what she threw away. She asked about you, actually. Asked if you were seeing anyone. What did you tell her? The truth. That you've moved on, and you're happy. She started crying. I felt a twinge of sympathy, but quickly suppressed it. Emily had made her choices. She'd prioritized Richard over everything. Our marriage, our son, her friendships, her own well-being. Now she was living with those consequences. Thanks for letting me know, I said. Jacob, for what it's worth, I think you handled everything perfectly. You protected Oliver and yourself. Not everyone has that strength. Oliver's 9th birthday was a massive success. We had a party at home. His friends, my family, Amanda's nephew. Oliver blew out his candles with a huge smile, surrounded by people who loved him and showed up consistently. Emily had called that morning, asking if she could stop by. I'd told her no. This was Oliver's day, and I wouldn't risk her disappointing him again. She didn't push. Later that evening, after everyone left and Oliver was playing with his new Legos, Amanda and I cleaned up the kitchen. That was a great party, she said. Oliver was happy. That's all that matters. You're a really good dad, Jacob. I hope you know that. I smiled at her. I try. He makes it easy. My phone buzzed. A message from Emily. Just a photo of a small gift with a note. For Oliver. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Tell him I love him. I showed Oliver the photo. Your mom sent a gift. She wishes she could have been here. Oliver glanced at it, then back at his Legos. Okay, can you help me with this spaceship? And just like that, he moved on. Because he'd learned what I'd learned. Actions matter more than words. Presence matters more than promises. He had a full, happy life without her consistent presence in it. I helped him build his spaceship, grateful for everything we'd built together. Resilience, trust, a solid foundation. Emily had walked away from this, and we'd found a way to thrive without her. 2 years after our divorce, I stood in my backyard watching Oliver play soccer with Amanda's nephew. Both boys, laughing and chasing the ball. My mother sat beside me, sipping iced tea. You've built a good life, sweetheart, she said. We survived. That's something. More than survived. You're happy. Oliver's happy. That's everything. She was right. We hadn't just survived Emily's choices. We'd transcended them. We'd built something better, something stable, something real. The doorbell rang. I went inside to answer it, surprised to see Emily standing on my porch. She looked different, healthier, more put together than the last time I'd seen her. Hi, Jacob. I know I should have called first. What do you need, Emily? I wanted to give Oliver his birthday gift in person. I know I'm 2 weeks late, but... She held up a wrapped package. Can I see him, just for a few minutes? I considered saying no, but Oliver was playing outside, visible through the gate. He'd already seen her car. Fine, 5 minutes, in the backyard. Oliver's face lit up when he saw his mother. Mom! Emily knelt down and hugged him. Hey, sweetheart. I brought you something. Oliver opened the gift, a dinosaur encyclopedia he'd been wanting. Thanks, Mom. You're welcome, baby. Emily's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry I missed your party. It's okay. Dad threw me a great party. I'm sure he did. She looked at me, then back at Oliver. I'm trying to be better, Oliver. To be the mom you deserve. It's going to take time, but I'm working on it. Oliver nodded seriously. Okay. After Emily left, Oliver came over to me. Dad, do you think Mom will really be better? I don't know, buddy. I hope so. Me too. But even if she's not, we're okay, right? I pulled him close. We're more than okay. We're great. Emily had forgotten our son's school play to attend her ex's dinner. Oliver's question that night, was Mom mad at me, had been the catalyst that saved us both. It broke Emily's illusion that her choices had no consequences, and it broke my illusion that love meant tolerating betrayal. Now, watching my son play without that weight of wondering if he was enough, I knew we'd made the right choice. Sometimes the hardest decisions lead to the best outcomes. Sometimes walking away is the only way forward. And sometimes the life you build from the ruins is better than anything that came before. Amanda came up beside me, slipping her hand into mine. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. Emily looked better. She did. Maybe she's actually getting help. Would it change anything if she got her act together? I thought about that carefully. It would be good for Oliver. He deserves to have a relationship with his mother. But for me, no. That door is closed. I've moved on. Good, Amanda said, kissing my cheek. Because I'm not letting you go. Oliver ran over, grass-stained and grinning. Dad, can we have pizza for dinner? Absolutely, go wash up. As he ran inside, I looked at Amanda, at my mother still sitting peacefully in the sun, at the life I'd built from the ashes of my marriage. Emily had made her choices, and I'd made mine. And I'd choose this life, this peace, this happiness, every single time.